Hello and welcome to a new season of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Firstly, apologies for being MIA for the past 2 to 3 weeks. For me, it was important to spend some family time. But just like the Premier League, we're back and raring to go. Now, before we get into the actual match preview between Chelsea and Liverpool, both teams have been involved in some groundbreaking transfer speculation, and it's surrounding two players. In fact, Chelsea have been chasing Brighton's Moises Caicedo for the past 6 months. You know, that's public knowledge, no secrets there. But it looks like Liverpool could, according to reports, it seems like Liverpool are set to make a record bid of 95 million for Moises Caicedo. Now, I had notes written down to talk about FSG. I think tonight is not the night for that. If Liverpool do sign Moises Caicedo, hey, there goes the neighborhood. It would be a transformational signing. Now, I'm not going to get too excited. Well, I am excited, but I can't get too ahead of myself until I see concrete news that a deal is set to be completed. Now, you know, I'm doing a dedicated show as soon as that confirmation is happening. So there's speculation that we might hear something later on tonight. So if we do expect to see a late night show this evening, I also have one eye on my Twitter feed in case there's any breaking news. But what we'll do, we'll still proceed with the match preview of Chelsea and Liverpool. As we all know, it's the opening week of the new season, first fixture, and both teams have a lot to prove. Chelsea had a shocking campaign last season, finishing in the bottom half of the table in 12th position. Liverpool, they had a mediocre season as well, just about managed to scrape through, finishing 5th. So big season ahead for both teams, and there's huge expectations for two big clubs there. But both teams have recruited well so far in the summer. Liverpool have signed McAllister and Szoboszlai, but a lot of departures at the same time, including Fabinho and Henderson going to Saudi Arabia, as well as Firmino. But then the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, and James Milner also departing the club. So a lot of places to fill the void for these players because they were senior figures in the squad. So still got 2-3 weeks left of the window. Hopefully Liverpool can make some new additions. Chelsea have signed a number of players. The more high-profile players are Nkunku, Diassi, who they've just signed from Monaco, Nicola Jackson, who looks really good in pre-season, and Sanchez from Brighton, the goalkeeper. So looking at last season's fixtures, yeah, bit of a ball fest to say at least. 2-0 results, but I can safely say that this game has goals written all over it. Liverpool have been in great goal scoring form, and Chelsea have also done really well in pre-season. So the past few encounters have been draws, including the 2 cup finals a couple of years ago as well. Hopefully, we're in more for a goal fest, or at least 1 or 2 goals to say the least. But team news: Chelsea, unfortunately, will be without Nkunku, one of their new signings, who suffered an injury during pre-season. At first, it was reported as a slight knock, but after scans, it's been revealed that he could be out for a few months, as it's a knee injury. Fofana also suffered another ACL injury and may be out for the season. Really feel for the player as he was showing some great form in the latter stages of last season. The other defender, Badiashile, is also unavailable. But other news surrounding the Chelsea squad is that they've just named a new captain in Reece James. Interesting choice for me. I thought maybe someone like Sterling would have gotten a shout as he's the more experienced player. But Reece James is the Chelsea boy through and through. So I guess it makes perfect sense to appoint him as the new captain. In terms of Liverpool, no real injury news. The only good news from today was that Thiago and Bajcetic returned to training. But for me, it's too soon to have either player starting in this game. despite the lack of number sixes in our squad. So what I'll do right now is I'll present my lineup for the Liverpool team, or the lineup that I would like to see presented in this encounter. So let me just share the graphics with you guys, and then we can show you my team. So here you go. Here's the formation. I would still like Liverpool to stick with the 3-2-2-3 formation. It's the formation we've predominantly deployed pre-season. I know a lot of fans have been saying that we should go for our traditional 4-3-3 formation. I understand the point, because I think players like Robertson, he's not flourishing playing in a back three. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I feel like some people still want him to play as a right back. I personally prefer him in the middle of the park, whether that's as an inverted role or as a traditional midfielder remains to be seen. But I feel like he's more effective playing this more central area. And I feel like with the personnel we have, we've got a lot more attack-minded midfielders. So this formation, for me, is still best suited for the squad that we currently have. So let's start with my team selection. So in goal, it's obvious, of course, Alisson, goes without saying. Back three, Konate will start on the right-hand side for me. Van Dijk, our new captain, will be in the center of defense. Now, this is the area where it will split opinions. So I think on paper, you'd go for Robertson because he's one of our top players, and he has played in this role in the latter stage of last season as well as pre-season. But for me, the last few weeks, his form has deteriorated, unfortunately. He's looked really shocking, out of pace, playing in the back three. He just doesn't seem to have that awareness playing as a left-sided centre-back. So with that said, because of the opposition, I would possibly go for Joe Gomez playing on the left-hand side. Now, we all know he didn't have the best of seasons last year, but I'm going for his selection based on current form. So not just personnel in terms of who's the better player. I think he's shown good promise in pre-season. He hasn't really played left-sided centre-back during those games, but I do feel like he is more than capable of playing that role. If you remember when he made his debut against Arsenal all those years back, I think 6 years ago, possibly, he played as a left back. So it's an area which I feel like he can get accustomed to. And we technically have three traditional centre backs in our back line. So having a fullback in Robertson doesn't add the right balance, in my opinion. So I feel like this one will provide some sort of assurance to our defense midfield. So Trent will be playing that inverted role for me. So I place him here. Now, this is the one big debate because there's no Fabinho, there's no Henderson. I think in terms of the youngsters, Tyler Morton hasn't featured in preseason. I'm not sure if he's injured or whatnot. Possibly he is, but he hasn't featured, so obviously doesn't mean he's available. Thiago and Bajcetic, as I mentioned earlier, have returned to training, but I think it's too soon. Especially Bajcetic, he's had a long-term injury. I think it was an injury he suffered in April. So if he's just making a return to training now, it's too soon to put him in the firing line. Thiago, for me, I know there's a lot of speculation with Thiago. A lot of fans still want him to be sold. They feel like he can't play this formation, which I think is ridiculous, or he's not the player that we should have in our squad. I disagree. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Thiago. So for me, he will still be effective. However, I would like him to be used a bit more sparingly this season. I want him to be used more as a luxury player or play in more important games against big oppositions, i.e. like a Chelsea. So if he hadn't just returned training, I would definitely have started him. So for me, it's a flip of a coin between Curtis Jones and McAllister. I think the last preseason fixture, McAllister played this number 6 role, did a decent job. I think defensively, he left a few like gaps here and there. But obviously, it's not his sort of traditional position. So with this lineup, I'll probably actually go with Jones to start as a number 6, as I feel like he's a bit more accustomed to it. I know for Liverpool, he hasn't played that number 6 role in a double pivot ever, from what I know, but he was playing this role for England over the summer, where obviously England won the championship. So I feel like he is a bit more accustomed to it in current form. So I'm going for Curtis Jones and Alexander Arnold as our 2 midfielders in a double pivot. Up top, it has to be the new boys, McAllister, got Szoboszlai. So both players have been fantastic for me. I feel like not coming up. Especially McAllister, I think he's fitted in right away. Getting him at 35 million is such a great deal. He's shown great form, great movement, great passing. That's one of his key strengths, is passing, where he just makes the right pass at the right time. Very strong on the ball as well, I think, which is quite deceptive considering his build. Szoboszlai was the player that I really wanted at Liverpool. I didn't feel like we had a realistic chance. So even just to name in the Liverpool lineup is definitely something that excites me. I feel like he's going to surprise a lot of people, especially the neutral fans. I think he's going to score a lot of goals and he's going to play a big part in our season. So hopefully he showcases that against Chelsea. In terms of the front 3, obviously Salah goes on the right-hand side. Another point to make is one of our young players, Ben Doak, has had a great preseason, so he would be a good option to have on the bench if we need someone to attack the byline, and he's more than capable of doing that. I know he's only 17, but for me, he's shown great form of preseason, so why not? I don't think you should place a player in the bench or reserve just because he's young. If he's good enough, for me, he's able enough to play in this team. So got a good option to have on from the bench there. Let's go centrally. It's a flip between Nunes and Gakpo. Both of them have had great pre-seasons. Nunes has shown good form in front of goal. If I have to critique him, I feel like there's been a few occasions where he's been unselfish, where he's tried to head the ball on to assist someone where he should have probably shot, and it would have been the better option. So that's still an area of his game that he's trying to learn and evolve in. But Gakpo just looks head and shoulders above everyone else when he plays. Such intelligence on the ball, great movement, and he's been really great in front of goal as well. So for this game, I'm going for Gakpo, but having Nunes on the bench is a great option. The left-hand side, it's the same dilemma. A good headache for Klopp, nevertheless. So you've got a choice between Jota and Luis Diaz. I think when preseason started, I would have gone for Jota, but I feel like Diaz has definitely upped the level a little bit in the last 2-3 games. So I feel like he's in great form. Scored an outrageous goal the other day. So I'm going to give him the edge. So for me, Diaz will start the game. Let me know what you guys think in terms of this lineup. Is this the lineup that should start against Chelsea? Is it too adventurous in terms of the personnel that I've selected? Let me know in the comments what you think. See, so that's my lineup right there. Score prediction. So I know this fixture has been 0-0 in the past, so I'm going to be a bit more optimistic. I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think there'll be a clear winner, but it's going to be 2-2 in my opinion. Goal scorers will be Luis Diaz and Szoboszlai, and for Chelsea it will be Mudryk and Jackson. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. But that's it for today. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We managed to hit 100 subs before the start of the season. So thank you to everyone who helped us reach our target. It's a small number, but nevertheless a milestone for the channel. Let's hope we can try and get another 100 subs before the end of this new season. Also, if you would like to join our FPL, here is the code there. So it's M7HKKS. Feel free to join. Make sure you do and get involved. I will do shout outs to the best FPL managers on our weekly shows. So make sure to tune in. And speaking of content, I will be doing another show this Sunday evening for the match reaction of this game, but slightly different format. So a link will be in the description to let you guys make an appearance on the show and let you have your say. Everyone is welcome. You don't have to be a Liverpool fan. Feel free to join the stream. So make sure to be on the lookout for the link. I will post it on Twitter, but it will also be on the description below. Just got a comment here from King93 Water. Do you think Chelsea have the chance to challenge for the UCL? So I'm assuming you mean the Champions League spots. I think they do. I think they're gathering up a good squad. I think it remains to be seen who they sign in terms of their new midfield additions. Obviously, the link right now is that they've placed a bid for Lavia, so he could be the guy that they go for. And I also believe that they've triggered a release clause for Leeds United's Tyler Adams. So Lavia and Adams would be good additions to their team. And I feel like they've gotten rid of a lot of the players regarded as deadwood. So I think Pochettino's doing a decent job in terms of acquiring the right players in the right positions. I know a lot of content creators have done their Premier League predictions today. I'm holding it off until after the transfer window. Last summer, I did one as well, and I said Liverpool were going to be champions on the basis that we were signing some players as we were strongly linked with a lot, and it never came to fruition. So I feel like my predictions didn't look good at the end. So I'm going to hold fire in terms of my predictions, and then we can obviously discuss it in more detail. But the answer to your question, yes, I do think they have a chance to claim a top 4 spot. If you haven't already, please don't forget to follow me on social media. You can follow me at Ozzie FTP on Twitter or Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, or the new platform Threads as well. TikTok, I'm on TikTok as well, Ozzie.ftp. So yeah, trying to publish as much content as I can. Plan to do more short videos, especially on my TikTok and Instagram. So make sure to follow, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.